Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I want to talk about one of my favorite new side hustles, and that is selling printables on Etsy. Now, if you know me, I am the last person you'd expect to be on Etsy selling printables, and I'll get into what printables are in a second, but let me just tell you how I got into this. So, my friend Julie, who I actually co founded a side hustle course with, she turned me on to printables. She was telling me about this side hustle she was doing where she creates these digital files and then she just puts them in her Etsy shop. She sells them, and there's no additional work really. Maybe some tweaking on SEO and things that we're not going to get into right now. But she said it was basically on autopilot. She was making a couple $100 a month essentially without doing any work. So I was like, you know what? I'll give this thing a try. And the rest is history. I'm going to get into some really cool stories about my printable journey and what could be possible if you start today or tomorrow, next month, whatever. So, what are printables exactly? So, printables are digital files. You can think planners, calendars, gift tags, wall art, trackers, invitations, announcements, ebooks, templates. There's so many different things that you can make that are considered printables. I could not even touch on a fraction of them if I tried right now. But printables, again, it's basically anything that you can think of that you'd print at home that someone would use. It could be like a meal planner, it could be like a fitness tracker, it could be a calendar you hang on the wall. There's so many different things. So let me talk about my journey for a little bit. So again, I started because Julie convinced me, hey, you gotta try this side hustle. It's super fun. It's pretty passive once you get the ball rolling. So the best thing about selling printables is that it's passive. Once you get the design up in your shop, there's very little work you need to do. And if that design is attractive and people are buying it, you basically are just printing money for yourself with this design. So I made a bunch of different Valentine's Day designs and I went skiing with my girlfriend Lauren in Lake Tahoe for a week. So you can see here up at the top right hand corner of the screen, this is from February 9th to February 16th. I made $718 in revenue and I didn't touch my Etsy shop once. As you can see here, I was skiing in Lake Tahoe, while I was snowboarding actually. I was on the mountain for most of the week, and every single time I'd go into the lodge for lunch, I'd see like, oh, I have $100 in orders already. Because people were just picking up these Valentine's Day printables like it was candy. And that's just one example of some of the successes I've had, and we've had a bunch of students in the course who have also had similar success during different seasonal times of year. So research demand. So when you're thinking about making a printable, we do have a process, and this is a process that we teach to anyone who's learning to make printables. So use tools like we use Google Trends. We also use Pinterest, which I'll talk about in a second. We use this awesome tool called eRank, and you can kind of see what's trending. So over here, this is a search just recently because Earth Day happened a couple days ago. And so you can see what's trending on Google. You can see Earth Day crafts have increased by 1450%. A lot of Earth Day stuff over here. But you could say, okay, free Earth Day printables. All right, maybe I'll make an Earth Day printable. Maybe that's going to be the next thing that blew up. Now, if I searched Google Trends back in February, say February 9th, like the beginning of that streak I was talking about, I'm sure there'd be a lot of Valentine's Day printable stuff. So you can use these tools to kind of figure out what printables are going to be in demand before you go and waste your time making something that nobody wants. So another way to get inspiration, I was just talking about this, is Pinterest. Now, if you don't know Pinterest, if you're not on Pinterest, that's totally fine. But Pinterest and Etsy go together like peanut butter and jelly. Now, as a guy, I am not too well versed, or I was not too well versed in Pinterest or Etsy before I got dived into this printable world, but it was pretty easy to pick up. And honestly, using Pinterest for ideas, figuring out what's popular, has been a really awesome strategy, and it's allowed me to make a lot of money with my Etsy shop. So you can search Pinterest for ideas. So let's say you want to make a meal planner. You can type in meal planner to Pinterest. You can see what some of the most popular pins are, and then you could kind of spin that, add your own creative twist, and put something similar in your Etsy shop. Now, I'm not saying go and copy people, but you can just see what's popular, why it's popular, whether it's a design thing or whether it's a price thing, whatever it may be. So stand out. So be slightly different. So I like this example. This is a really cool gift tag that Julie, who I talked about earlier, created. So she went in, she looked at different gift tags that were already on Etsy, and you can see which ones are popular on Etsy by either the reviews of the shop or it might have a best seller tag. And so Julie saw these and she's like, you know what? I'm going to add something a little more snarky, a little more provocative clip art. And she made this little Mrs. Claus Merry Christmas gift tag. So someone goes and prints this gift tag out. They can wrap it, put it with their present. Super cool. And I can imagine, she just made this a couple weeks ago, but I can imagine this is something that's going to be popular when Christmas rolls around again. So that's the cool thing too, is once you create those seasonal printables once, Like I'm sure next Valentine's Day, my seasonal printables are still going to perform pretty well because they already have the momentum, they already have the traffic. So hopefully I have a similar story where I'm skiing again and all of a sudden my phone's blowing up with Etsy sales. So make printables. So there's some free options and there's some paid options. The two that we focus on, the two that I am the most well versed in, is Canva, canva.com. On Canva, you can design free printables. We do make suggestions that to be careful with licensing and making sure you're not infringing on any of that stuff. I'm not going to get into that here. It's a little too in the weeds, but canva.com is a great place to make printables. Just don't use templates. There's already pre-built templates on Canva, and even places on like PowerPoint, you can go and type in planner and they already have a planner for you. Don't try to tweak that and sell that because your design will get taken down. And then we also like to promote Adobe Illustrator. It's a little bit more in-depth than Canva, but I love Illustrator, although I think it's $19 a month. There is a 7-day free trial, and you can ask for an extension. So if you call the Adobe team, we actually had someone from the course who called and got like 3 months free. So you can always check that out too, but Canva is the free version. Illustrator is my #1 paid version. All right, so finding clipart and also finding fonts. I'll touch on both of those here. So something you can do to kind of spice up your printable, again, I said you can use Canva, make free printables, use some of their free elements as long as you're altering those elements. You can't just use them as they stand. But you can go and find really cheap deals or free deals on websites like Creative Market, Design Bundles, and Font Bundles. So they always are providing weekly freebies where you can download a free font, or you can download, let's say it's getting close to Christmas, they might have a few Christmas pieces of clip art you can download for free. And if not, they have a bunch of huge $1 sales all the time. So you can go and get really cheap free clip art. So this is a pretty low investment. To list something on Etsy, it's 20 cents just to put that listing up. And then let's say you invested $1 to get some cool clip art or some cool font. You're maybe $1.20 in the hole, and then some time creating the printable. And I'll talk about how we save you time in a little bit. But it's really not that big of an investment to go and start that Etsy shop. So let's move on. So start your shop, the basics. So one of the things about Etsy is you have to be ready with a product. You can't just go and start a shop if you don't have anything ready to sell. And we definitely focus on this in the course. The way the course is laid out, it's in order. So we actually teach you how to make printables beforehand, and then we have you open your shop later on. So by the time you're ready to open your shop, you will already have a printable ready to go. And one of the cool things about starting the shop is that you can kind of take ideas and inspiration from other people. So you can see, looking at what other sellers charge. So for example, this wine label, you could see, okay, most sellers are charging $3.99 for wine labels. You probably don't want to be pricing yours at 50 cents because that would be crazy, and you'd probably get a lot of fees taken out and wouldn't make much money, but you also wouldn't want to be charging $20. So you get to see what other people are doing in terms of charging, and maybe their titles and their description and things like that. Okay, so provide clarity, win the sale. So this is something that I did not do well when I first started my Etsy shop, but now it has helped me so much. One thing you really want to avoid is any customer complaints. So if you're making something like a printable where there's nothing physical getting shipped to their house, you want to make sure to let them know, hey, this is a printable, nothing will be shipped. Put that in your description. You can see over here, this listing is an instant digital download, no physical card or envelope provided. So make sure you're really clear about that. Even right here, it says printable card in this example. And you can be really, you can provide a lot of clarity through your pictures and text. So you're allowed 10 different listing images. So you can give people different angles. You could say printable card. You could say instant download. You could say unlimited copies, whatever you want to say. But you have 10 listing pictures to kind of get your point across, let people know what you're listing, what your printable is all about. Okay, so now I just want to talk a little bit about our E-Printables side hustle course. So this is a course that now I think 600 students have gone through. We've had people who have been mega successful. Actually, one of our students, Jennifer, just hit her 1,000th sale yesterday. So she's absolutely crushing it. She's in the wedding niche. And we have people who are successful in all different types of niches. I'll be showcasing a few of them in a little bit. So let's kind of dive into the course. So this is the co-founder, Julie, I was telling you about. She was the one who got me excited, got me into selling printables on Etsy. She is a super side hustler just like me. I'm always looking for new fun ways to make money, and this one definitely checked all the check boxes. So we created a course to save you time. Yes, you could go and you could get a bunch of free YouTube videos and probably kind of coddle together most of the information that we're providing here. But if you do that, and that's what I've done in a lot of circumstances, it will take you weeks as compared to a couple hours or days. And time is of the essence. I know a lot of people are super busy. A lot of people don't start side hustles because they're so strapped for time. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to save you time. And that's through some things I'm going to talk about. We have a bunch of pre-made templates where you can literally, it's almost like drag and drop. We give you the template and then you can go make your own design after you upload your own fonts and own creative elements. We also have stuff to expedite your listing pictures process, the thing I was just showing you. We have the 10 listing pictures. We have templates for that. And then we also have things like a research process that'll make it a lot easier to figure out, okay, is this going to sell or not? And then also tips on marketing and selling your products. Okay, so we have 3 components to the course. So there's the video course. This is hosted through this platform called Teachable. Maybe you've seen or heard of Teachable, or maybe you've actually taken a course through Teachable before. So you can see here we have a bunch of different Teachable lessons. I'm actually going to do a quick Teachable tour after this just to show you what the course looks like. Then we have this awesome VIP E-Printables community. So this is kind of like the VIP suite of our course, where you get 3 days when you sign up for the course, but every single month after that, it's a $29 fee. The reason for that is because we have paid experts in there. So not only do myself and Julie answer any and all of your questions that you put in the group, it's 24/7 support, but we also have our paid experts. We have Jenny and Kevin in there right now. We also have Nicole and Jamie who do also bonus trainings, and we have a bunch of extra experts that come in and do trainings on stuff that we're not adept in ourselves. So things like Photoshop and things like Procreate and things like Pinterest. There's a lot of other things that are kind of related to printables that we have our experts come in and teach the community. So that's one of my favorite parts, is seeing the community. And the reason why we do that, so like I said, you get 30 days free in the community when you join the course, is because I don't know about you, but for me, I will not push myself as hard if I'm just working in a silo, if I'm just working by myself. But if I see other people performing, making printables, doing all this awesome stuff in the community, then you're hopefully going to be motivated to take action, because we're not successful unless you're successful. The last thing we want is for someone to be unsatisfied, to say, oh, I didn't learn anything in this course, E-Printables don't work, because you didn't put in the effort. So that's what we try to do, foster a fun community. We also do fun prize giveaways. We have weekly challenges and a lot of other fun stuff. And then this is the last thing I was talking about, and I'm actually going to give you a quick template tour. But we provide you with 12 templates to create printables in Canva and Adobe Illustrator to make things a lot easier. So like I said, you can have zero graphic design background, and within 15 to 20 minutes, you could have a working printable that you could have ready to list in your Etsy shop. So we think that's a super time saver. We try to make it as easy as possible for you, and let's move forward. So these are just 2 of the templates that I was talking about. So these are the finished products, but basically we just give you like a thank you card. We give you the 5x7, we give you the text and the shadow on it, and then you just swap it out for your own text, your own clip art. So I recorded this video, and this thank you card, it took me, I think 15 or 20 minutes to make. You can follow along, do exactly the same things that I'm doing, and you can come out with that exact same product. So it's just an easy way to kind of get a leg up to start to learn the printable design process without struggling through 10 hours of YouTube videos or a bunch of articles. And then this is a calendar I whipped together. I'm actually going to be using this calendar template in a little bit, showing you how you can modify and make your own printable fast. Okay, so this is the Jennifer I was actually just talking about. So her shop is Edenwood Papery. She has 1,005 sales. She's in the wedding niche, and she is just absolutely crushing it. She did have graphic design experience going in, and that's why she's performing so well. And she is one of our best students, but I'm going to show you another student in a second who had zero graphic design experience, had never heard of printables, never really tried designing anything before, and she is also crushing it. So Jennifer, congratulations. She's killing it, 1,000 sales. And now we have Sasha. So Sasha is kind of more in my field. I'm a personal finance influencer. She makes all these finance spreadsheets and budget trackers and things like that. She has 433 sales as of today. She's made a couple $1,000s. And one really cool thing I forgot to mention about our group is once you hit 100 sales, we invite you into the 100 Sales Club, where you get a free membership in our VIP E-Printables community, and you get a gift from us. Usually it's something that you can cheers, so it might be champagne, it might be a glass with your name on it, or the name of the course. We send out a bunch of awesome prizes to our 100 Sales Club members. All right, so that is the end of that, and now what I want to do is I want to navigate over to the course and show you what the course is all about. Okay, so now I'm in the course. This is what it looks like as a student in Teachable. I'll just kind of quickly walk you through each segment. So we talk about what should you sell. I kind of covered that very basically in this PowerPoint presentation, but what should you sell? What shouldn't you sell? We kind of just give you an idea of how to think of the framework and what you should spend your time on, what you shouldn't spend your time on. Getting started making printables. So this is where you can find fonts, where you can find graphics, knowing about commercial use, knowing about how to find good looking font, color, and graphic combinations. how to make printables with Canva. So these are some of the tutorials I was talking about, and we're going to be jumping into one in just a sec. How to make printables with Illustrator, editable printables. This is one of my favorite things to make, actually, is making editable printables, and I use this program called Cordial. And so basically think of an invitation or a wedding shower or anything that has like custom names or date on it. You're not just going to want to make like a random generic date and name and hope that it sells and put like, John's 5th birthday and just hope that someone named John and with a 5th birthday is coming up that some mom is going to buy on Etsy. That's not the best strategy. So with Cordial, you can actually let your customer go in and edit that design and put their own stuff. And you can even charge a little bit higher of a price point because you have that customization factor. So I love using Cordial. And then let's move on. Packaging your printable. So talking about how you can resize them and the best ways to package it, whether it's in a zip file or the type of PDF, things like that. Making listing images. So this is everything you should know about making attractive listing images, because what you want to do basically is you want to stand out amongst the competition. So knowing how to make those listing images look better than everyone else's. Listing your product. This is the actual act of listing that product after you create the design. This is the first thing you do to open your Etsy shop. And again, you have to have a design before you open that Etsy shop. That's why we have the design stuff above this. Marketing and advertising. So this is once you already have some products in your Etsy shop, what can you do to maximize conversions? Optimizing your shop, so looking at stats, figuring out what you can do to get people to stay, get people to be repeat buyers. The Etsy Sellers app, so you can actually do all this from your phone, which is super cool. Then if you're not too keen on Etsy, or maybe you want to branch out from Etsy, we also teach you how to sell on your website, on Shopify, on Teachers Pay Teachers, or on your email list. Then we have a bunch of additional resources. So we have planners in here, we have checklists, a bunch of really cool other tutorials that aren't Illustrator and Canva specific. Then we have this bonus section 3. So this is other options for editable printables. I mentioned I love Cordial. There's also another one called Template. You can use Adobe Acrobat. You can use PDF Escape. So let's kind of just walk into a tutorial real quick, just so I can show you literally how easy it is to, it's almost like a drag and drop where you're making your own stuff. So if I click into here, making a calendar in Canva, you have a 15-minute video that you can watch me do. I'm not going to watch me do that. I have a very unflattering face on this thumbnail here. Canva template. So I'm going to click calendar. It's going to give me the Canva template. It's going to say use template. Perfect. Cody Berman shared this with you. And now we can kind of make this thing our own. So I am going to, what this is right here is called a frame. So I'm going to, actually I'm going to move my face first because it's over near all the stuff I need to be over here for. So I'm going to go to my folders on Canva. I'm not going to go into Canva right now. I do have a separate YouTube video talking about Canva. If you want to watch that, if you're confused by anything I'm doing here. And I'm just going to add something like a flower in the corner. So let's drag and drop this guy in the corner. And I'm actually going to flip it around. And I'm actually going to put it in the top right corner. So let's get rid of month of. I'm just going to do one for April. Let's see. Put this over in the corner. All right. And I'm just going to actually make this a little more transparent. So let's kind of have it just hanging out in the corner. I might even rotate this a little bit more. I want more flowers in there. Or maybe I can just make the calendar smaller. All right, and I'm going to move this 2020 actually into the right-hand corner of the calendar. So let me twist this thing around, and let me just get it perfectly to 90 degrees. Perfect. Bring this over. Oh, now my face is in the way again. Where could I not be in the way? How about right here? Okay. And I can also use the arrow keys to move this around. I'm just going to line this up so it's perfectly aligned. And I'm going to do a light purple actually. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to click on purple. Nice, I'm going to use that purple there. I'm going to change all these to purple as well. So I'm holding shift. Boom, let's change this to purple. And now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to shrink this calendar down so I have room to add like maybe the month and maybe add a little list. Let me unselect this. Okay, so now I have this selected. I'm just going to shrink it down a little bit so I have a little bit of room. Okay, cool. Shrunk down the calendar a little bit. I'm just going to move this over just so Sunday isn't, or was that Saturday, isn't so squished. Okay, so now let's add a list to the left-hand side. That's what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to go to Elements. I'm going to do my line segment tool here. Squish it way down. And actually even smaller. Okay, I'm going to try to get like perfectly lined up. Actually, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to box it in so then I can kind of use that as a frame of reference. So I'm going to use this box. And I'm going to box in these lines so then I can tell where the center is. So let's do something like that. I'll bring this directly to the bottom. Cool. And this seems fine. I'll have that. I'm going to make the center white, and then I'm going to make this outside this color purple, and I'm going to change the opacity, transparency to 25. Boom. It's the same. Now it's going to be the same color as these. These are 25% opacity as well. Okay, so I can see my line. I actually have to move this back position backwards. See my line here. I'm going to leave a little bit room on top because I'm going to write the word list. I'm just going to make the line a little bit smaller. Okay, so I have that line. I'm actually going to make it that purple color. And I'm going to change the opacity to 25 again, or the transparency, same thing. 25, let's see, duplicate. I'm just going to duplicate a couple of them, and then we're going to use mass duplicate feature. All right. Perfect, those look pretty lined up. So now I can actually go and just grab like 4 of these. I can just hit duplicate, and then I can hit duplicate again if I want. Make sure this is the right distance apart, duplicate again. I'll probably even do duplicate one more time. Duplicate. Okay, that does not look like it's the same distance. Let's see what the same distance is. Line it up in the center. Perfect. Okay, cool. We got this nice little list going. Actually, let me just move these down a little bit. So I'm going to highlight them all. You know what? No, I'll just duplicate this one. Duplicate. All right, this looks pretty good. I'd probably fine-tune this a little bit more if I was spending a ton of time on it, but I just want to show you guys how quickly you can make this into your own calendar. I'm going to add some text. So I'm going to click on the text tool here, add a heading. I'm going to write April because I'm recording this in April. I'm going to bring April up here, and I'm going to look for a cool font. So on Canva, they do give you some free fonts, but I love getting fonts from Creative Market or font bundles, so I'm going to use one of the fonts that I got. So I'm going to use this Adrenaline regular one. Cool. And I'm going to expand April, make it a little bigger. Well, that's a little bit too big for my liking. And let me just move off of this so I can drag it down. Okay. April will go right here. I'm going to put a little box to the left for notes. So let's change this to purple. And I'm actually going to change the opacity to 75. That's the same color as the days of the week, 75. April. And then I'm going to copy this outside box, duplicate. I'm going to make a little notes section, and I'm going to bring it up to the top. So I have this. Let's see. Bring this up to the top. And let me move my face again. Put myself down in the corner. Align this little notes thing up that I'm about to make with the left-hand side of this. Ooh. Okay, maybe I want it a little bit bigger. So I have plenty of room for notes. Something like that. We can line it up with that little box here. Canva's nice. It kind of gives you the grid lines. Now I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to change the word to list and notes. So let's do list. Get rid of the L on the end. List. Okay. Bring that over here. I'm going to center this right in the center of this design. Up. Okay, that's cool. And then we'll duplicate, and I'm going to bring this one up here. Oops. List, and this one's going to say notes. All right, notes. Bring this down. I don't want it on that purple. And I'm actually going to move this over maybe a little bit because I'm going to put a little flower in the top corner. So I'm going to use from the same pack. So basically I bought this flower design. It was like only a couple of bucks on Creative Market, and now actually let me go to my folders. Sorry, folders, purple, yellow, watercolor flowers. This one looks like one that will fit in the corner, and we're going to turn it around all the way around 180 degrees, and I'm going to put it in the top left corner. Let's see, go back. Okay, 180, we got it there. Shrink this way down. Cool. And now I can kind of just plop this in the corner, and I can use my mouse pad or my keypad to adjust that. Actually, I can probably center this and it'll still look pretty good. Notes. All right, so I just pretty much redid this calendar. I wasn't timing myself, but I'm guessing it was something like 5 minutes. So that is how easy it is. That's what we do for you in the course. We show you how to make these, and then we give you the templates, and you can kind of just go and plug and play and make your own printables. And if this whole printables thing seems like something that you could start and you could get into and you could start making money side hustling doing it, definitely go check out our course page. I'll definitely leave a link below, and thanks for watching.